If I say the word burbuja, I bet some of you will remember. The very first night's homework, I said, go home and speak as much English as you can. And they're like, English, señora? Yes, get it out of your system because mañana, you come through the door, I'll be there personally, shaking each of your hand and welcoming you. Bienvenidos a la burbuja. And we are Spanish only. We do love games, and I'm right there with them, loving it. So all these wonderful games the kids love, like Around the World, Autobus, they loved Autobus, Run to the Board, a competition. So a tradition, I think, is to just create a classroom that is engaging with fun and laughter. Also a lot of dress up. The big day was the market, el mercado, and half the class are dressed in these campy Hawaiian clothes. You know, if they were in Holoku, they'll put on their coconuts, fake lei, hat, zinc oxide, aloha shirt. And the other half would be sitting on the ground with their wares in front of them, and they had my shawls and my ponchos and sarapes and hats. And it was a buying and selling thing. El mercado, they loved it.
Esto puede go and here en la piscina? No.
And in the end, I'd pass a hat around and they would donate money for like charities, you know, the profits they made. It was just really great. Another thing that I think students would remember are the letters. I have friends in Spain who are teachers, and their students wrote to mine and mine to them in Spanish. And these are kids who probably rarely write a letter. I mean, a handwritten letter. These were hardly letters in the classic sense. They were colored paper, photos, glitter, colored pens and pencils. They just got into it. They just loved writing letters. It made their language learning relevant to them because then they got letters from the Spanish kids. When the letters would arrive, you know, I'd come in with the packet behind my back. I would pull it out and the kids would start screaming and I'd hand the letters out like Santa Claus. No, it was great. Las cartas, I loved it. Campamento was just the best. This was in AP 5 and Punahou had it was a house. They called it Punahou Cottage. It was a whole beach house right on the beach in Kailua. And we'd go off in the bus, but I mean major burbuja talk, like this is 24 hours. We can do this, guys, you know, and do like a sports team. We all put our hands in, uno, dos, tres, viva el campamento. Off on the bus, singing songs. We brought basic foodstuffs with us on the bus, but we walk into Kailua town speaking Spanish only, hit the grocery store, hit bakeries, speaking only Spanish. People, you know, who worked there would be like, what's this? Very curious about us, but we never revealed. Punahou students, no. We were as if visitors from another country. And once back at the Punahou beach house, we had games, we had skits. One of the most fun game was called the lying game, you know, 2 truths and 1 lie and doing it in Spanish, wildly hilarious. 24 hours speaking Spanish, great memories. Just some of those classes I have had reunions with, not recently, but for a few years after they graduated, we went together and had Mexican food or whatever, just great. Kids from the 90s. It was so hard to leave Punahou because I had such passion and enthusiasm. So where do I put that energy? But I've actually had a nice time in the 5 years since I've retired. You know, I taught for 40 years, so I thought that qualified for 40 days in India. So we immediately went to India for 40 days and loved it so much we went back twice more. Right now, my adventures are closer to home. I live near Kapi'olani Park, can't go traveling so much, but walk fast, sometimes jog. I travel a lot, just going around and around that park. I have a exercise class, a boot camp class, twice a week there, just by the ocean. It's just gorgeous. One of my former students is even in that class. One of my greatest joys is my ukulele group. It's a group of 5 classmates from class of 67, and we call ourselves the ukusistas. And we gather once a week and just play ukulele, sing, and it's a dream come true for me to do that. I only started learning ukulele 2 years ago. So retirement's pretty darn good. Punahou's been a part of my life since 7th grade, from when I was a student. So I miss a lot about Punahou. Of course I miss the kids. Sitting in those carpet squares, just like the best. So I miss the kids. The students who were with me in level 4 in a spiritual, ethical, community responsibility class, they will know when I say I'm very into gratitude. They know that I am so grateful to them. The kids were just great. Made teaching a joy. Walking into La Burbuja and hearing them say, like, hola, señora, Another thing I really miss about teaching is collaborating with my own son. Who gets that joy that he could be not only my son, but my colleague, someone with whom I shared ideas, learned new ideas from him, modern things, taught him my old tried and true tricks. We just had such fun planning lessons, planning curriculums, cooking in class together, planning games, planning fun things. And I miss that. I do miss that. My legacy with my students, I hope, is that, they're not going to remember the grammar and the verbs and the vocabulary. I hope that they will remember the joy in the language class and their introduction to the Spanish-speaking world, whether Spain or South America. I had a sabbatical in Mexico and South America, and I brought the other Americas back to my classroom too. So I hope that they will be inspired to travel, be open to new people and places. So that's a legacy. But maybe my main legacy that, is, I think, very unique to the Earles is that we are 3 generations of Punahou teachers. It's just amazing that we all have gravitated to this, not just profession, but this place, because it's so wonderful. Punahou, oh my God. So, my mom was a beloved teacher, and my son and his wife are also teachers. My brother was a Punahou teacher for 45 years, Tom Earle. So the legacy, I think, is that, since 1960, there has been an Earle teaching at Punahou, and I hope that that will continue. My grandkids, Mehana and Keola, they see it's a good and joy-filled life, and who knows, maybe someday they will also come and be fortunate enough to carry on this legacy.